this may have come across as a shocker, but this will be the last day that I have my Pixel Fold. I've got about 3 reasons why, and it all came on pretty quickly. Let's do a mini breakdown. These are my 2 daily drivers. So my personal phone is my OnePlus 11, and this is the Pixel Fold that I've been very happy with up until this point. But I just want to point out a couple of things that have come to my attention. So one of the things that I started doing was starting to look through some of the comments that I was getting on a lot of these videos. So there's people that never watched my channel that just wanted to come to let me know that they had certain issues. So I'm just going to put the OnePlus away. But in regards to this Pixel here, one of the things that I was getting pretty consistently was people use Tensor quite a bit and they have overheating issues. So I started asking what are some of the issues, and one of the things that people said was when they get into their car and they might play videos the whole time, so they might play YouTube, they might run their hotspot, and they may also use the GPS. So the common theme from a couple of these commenters was, you can't do that on Tensor. So I'm like, okay, that's literally how I use my phone every day. My 2 major customers that are the closest to me are about an hour commute from me, going one way and back. And then I have a lot of customers that are 2 or 3 hours away. So I said, you know what, let me not just isolate this. Let me just really start to think. There's a couple of people that are having this much trouble, because when I told them, you found the right channel, because I would have told you to RMA your device. But I said, let me think about this. I've never had an issue. I have this Tensor, I have 2 Pixel 7 Pros, and I still have 1 Pixel 6. I sold 1 Pixel 6 to Sean Pickney, and he's not having any issues with it as well, just the way I didn't have any issues with. So I said, you know what, maybe it's just what I've gotten, so let me look further to see what people are saying. So I had a couple of comments that it's their 1st generation device, so Google screwed it up. And it's like, well, this is, I deal with a lot of high-end devices, and this is probably one of the best built devices that I've had, period. So I don't really see that issue. So the other thing that I started getting a lot of complaints about, because I do a lot of camera stuff on my channel, is people were saying, well, they use worse sensors on this device than the Pixel 7 Pro. And that to me is a valid argument. I actually took some pictures, which I'll show here. And I've got a full camera breakdown that's coming out shortly that's going to talk about the merits of these cameras. But I will be the first to admit, this doesn't have the large sensor that is in my Pixel 7 Pro. But having said that, I'm still very happy with the results. But since I'm on the spirit of listening to what people are saying, I was like, that's another knock. So we have Tensor as a knock, camera as a knock. Then probably the last thing that really set me over the edge was, let's see if I can pull this up where we can get a good picture. It wasn't anything to do with gaming, because gaming has been the same. So let's see if I pull up, I think this comes up with a white background. So let's say if I go into Genshin Impact. So I was fine with the bezels, but so many people were coming into the comments just really incensed about the bezels. Like this is probably an abomination to mankind itself. So I was like, you know what? I really have to really start thinking about this, and I had to start comparing them to other devices that I had. And I have to say, these bezels are pretty big, and when you start to look at Tensor performance, you talk about the bezels. Also, the cameras aren't as good as the Pixel 7 Pro. At least the main sensor isn't as good. I just had to return this device. I couldn't go forward with this device. Now, I'll just say this. If you believed any part of this video, you need to understand sarcasm. This has been a outstanding device. I cannot believe that Google delivered this in the first generation. I know that was one of the other things I was trying to be very nice in that, because I was really pissed off when I did this video several times, but this is pretty outstanding for their first device. Now, if I'm Google, what I do to shut it down is listen to what people have said, the feedback, know that Tensor is going to improve over time to where it's going to be a really high performance chip, sort of like the A series turned out to be for Apple. But I increase the battery size, but also in the future reduce the bezels. Even though I'm cool with the bezels, I think they look fine. There's not much else I would change other than add fast charging to this device. That's how happy I am with it. I feel like with any of the Pixels, it's really good at point and shoot. Now, when they want to do pro mode and all that stuff, then I want to see the 1-inch sensor and all that stuff. But as far as what I do right now is I always recommend point and shoots, pick up a Pixel. If you want more, pick up an Oppo, Xiaomi, or Vivo, or Sony, and just have at it. All right, sorry for the sarcasm. If you want to see any more videos on the Pixel, click here. And as always, with that, we're out.